Hello everyone and welcome back to another Train Sim World 2 video. Today we are on the Great Western Express and we're going to be doing a Greenford service because yes, Greenford services are back as part of the next gen version. So if you are playing on a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One, I believe you will not be getting these services. So they're only on the Xbox Series X and S and the PS5. But yeah, Greenford services are back. And actually for the whole of this video I'm not going to be using a keyboard, because obviously usually I use a keyboard, but for this one I'm specifically not, so I can sort of show off the new control options obviously for the controller, obviously the new shift feature. So obviously you can turn off hard now just by holding options down, so we've got that off. But yeah, let's get going. Yeah, it's about 15 minutes to West Ealing. Obviously we can't go any further than West Ealing up the Greenford branch because obviously that's not part of the route. So yeah, we can go as far as West Ealing on today's service. The next station is Acton Main Line. Obviously another feature, I'll put the HUD on quick. Oh hello, don't do that. About this is you can now actually, if you use the left analog stick, you can now scroll down the timetable, which is quite cool. And obviously it was very much needed, as before you could sort of just have it to that, so you sort of knew what the next couple of markers were, but now you can see everything, which is awesome. Right, let's get going. That's about 40 in a second. Lovely. And one other thing we can do as well, if I hold down square, that I'm going to hold down square, let's get up to 40 quick and we'll do it just somewhere we don't have to worry about the speed. There you go, there's Royal Oak Station. If I hold square, look at the horn, there's the horn control there, the little sort of knob bit. That if I hold square and do the horn, obviously using the left analog stick, you see it goes that way. If I then take my finger off square and do it now, it goes the other way. So you can now do on console 2 tones. Awesome. But yeah, lovely to see that in. So yeah, I'll pretty much be going through the new controls, because when obviously I first got Rush Hour, I didn't really use the new controls as much, but I'm slowly sort of integrating them into how I play. And obviously as we go along, people said, oh, that button does that, and I'm like, okay, awesome, that does that. So yeah, I'll say that I still haven't learned all of the new shift operations, but I've learnt a fair few of them. And in fact, let's do another one. I want to take a brilliant rail fan shot. So if we go to here, if we, I believe, hold down the right analog stick and then press down on the D-pad. You have to hold down the right analog stick and down on the D-pad. You can now take a lovely rail fan shot. Or maybe I want a bit more detail, so what I'll do is I hold the right analog stick down and use the left analog stick to push it forward, and now look, an even better view, and I can take a shot of that. Look at that, much better. Yeah, it's brilliant, the new controls. And there's one other thing I know how to do after this, but let's quickly get the speed up a little bit more. Cool. But yeah, how is everyone finding the Boston Sprinter, and how are you finding the new controls? Is that H just here? Is that 166 moving there? Is that moving? I think that's moving, I think it's going into the depot. It looks like it's moving, doesn't it? Get the speed up a tad. Yeah, that one is moving there. But yeah, you can now also change what camera you're in. A bit like, well, see, on the old Train Sim World, you can still do it on this one, but you have to use the old controls. If you held down the right analog stick, it'll then bring up a wheel for, it would say front boom camera, rear boom camera, free camera. It would come up with all the camera options, but you can't do that now. So this is the new sort of controller scheme, the immersion controls. But if I hold down right analog stick and then press left and right on the D-pad, oh, going, wow, there you go, it changes. Yeah, right on the D-pad. Well, hold down the right analog stick, then press right. Yeah, you can go between the camera views, which is cool. Right, passing Old Oak Common Depot. It's not too far to Acton Main Line. I mean, once we get there, the gaps between stations after that are fairly short, sort of, you know, a mile or so each. Got a 43 in there. Let's coast it for now. We don't really need to be going any faster. Cool. And yeah, we'll just coast it from here. Lovely. Yeah, thanks all for coming in. And obviously, if you're enjoying the video, do leave a thumbs up and do leave a like. It all does help out. Wait, a thumbs up and a like. That's a like. But do subscribe if you want to see more. And also, yeah, on this route, you don't only just get the new Greenford, well, not new Greenford services, but you know, then added back. You also get the HST. I believe it's the longer HST. I think it's 9 coaches instead of 8. Or it might even be the opposite. It might be vice versa. But yeah, you get a few more extra HST services as well, which I think there was originally 22. Do correct me if I'm wrong. That's just off the top of my head. I think there was about 22 or so. So there's a few more now. But here we are, Acton Main Line Station. Come on, let's try and get a perfect stop. I never really get a perfect stop on this. But that's not bad. Here we are, Acton Main Line. But yeah, I'm not going to use a keyboard for anything in this video. So everything you see is like using a controller. Look at that. Take a few screenshots. I'm trying to build up my collection of next gen ones. Lovely. There's everyone at the back of the train getting off. Cool. Might get the HUD back on. I was about to sort of go over to my keyboard then. It wasn't even the console keyboard, it was my PC one to press F1. I'm sure it would have actually ended the video by accident. Luckily I didn't. Okay, that is busy. Obviously, yeah, 200 passengers now, I believe, on next gen. In terms of the amount of spawning. Obviously, it might be a little less at some stations, obviously, if it's not a busy place. Cool, Ealing Broadway after this, so. Obviously, there isn't a PIS yet on this route. But I think that'll be added in a future update. Right, let's get the door shut. And let's go. Listen to that. Obviously, they did actually redo the sounds of the 166 almost a year ago now. Yeah, they redid them. Same with the 43. There was a few minor changes. Look at that. Off we go. Yeah, you can see the texturing is much better and the render distance is much better on the next gen version. Let's get back into the train. There we go. And you might have actually heard I did actually try and press the keyboard, but it's not actually the keyboard that controls the console, it's an PC one. Cool. Let's do a little cheeky two-tone. Look at that, brilliant. All from the controller as well. Although, you know, we do have the new controls on the controller, but I do still recommend getting a keyboard and using it for TSW2. As yeah, I just prefer it because it does actually unlock just a few more keys. You know, changing cabs. I don't think you can do that yet on this one. Well, we'll try it out. I want to see. In fact, let's look at the settings quick. Control guide. Where's the shift ones? Operations shift. So you can do the AFB. You can lap the brakes by the looks of things. PZB stuff. Toggle sand. That is down on the D-pad. Okay. But yeah, I still do recommend using a keyboard. If you have one. because I still find it slightly easier. Right, let's bring that down. We're coming in fairly quick into Eden Broadway, a bit too quick actually. Yeah, that is really quick. Yeah, we really should pop the brakes on. But here we are. And Ealing Broadway. But yeah, how is everyone finding the new controls? Well, obviously the new controls of the new controls. Well, I mean the immersion controls aren't really the new controls anymore, are they? But how is everybody finding it? There you go. Here we are, and the next station stop is West Ealing. Cool. Oh yeah, this is the oldest passenger route in the game. This one came out, I think, in 2017. I believe it was, yeah, sometime 2017. This route did come out. I think it was December 2017. So it's a fairly old route in terms of TSW route. It's almost 4 years old, which is crazy to think. Well, this was the first route I drove on the game, obviously when it came out in console, which I do remember, 24th of July 2018, getting up about 6 in the morning to play. Now we can leave a little early. Right, let's go. Yeah, West Ealing next. Little two-tone from the outside. Get back into the cab. And you can see West Ealing, it's literally just there. They're very close to one another, these stations. And I was actually just checking to see if you could contact the signaller using the phone, but I don't think that's on this route yet. But I suppose on this one it would most likely be clicking on here to contact the signaller. Because if you look at West Somerset Railway, I believe it's in the 08, in the 09, the 47 and the 33, I think there's actually a phone where if you click it you actually contact the signal, which is quite cool. Obviously on this one it would most likely be the GSMR. You click a little button on it and it would say, you know, contacting signaller. But here we are, we made it. And it takes around sort of 50. It's a nice service, the Greenford one. Sort of the main sort of inner London part of the route. And here we are. It's got a very similar feel to Acton Main Line, this station. And stop. Here we are, we made it. But yeah, that is going to be everyone for today's Train Sim World 2 video. Obviously, hopefully everyone has enjoyed it. Obviously, hopefully I've gone over some of the controls with you. Hopefully it has helped out. Obviously, you will find a link in the description to the Discord server, to the PayPal, and to the merch store if you do want to help support the channel. But that's going to be it from me. Thanks all for coming in, and I hopefully will see you next time. See you all, and take care. Bye, guys.